Hi, I'm Chloe. Welcome to the Data Security lesson. Let's talk about your role as an internet user and how cyber threats affect your experience, whether at home, at work, or traveling. Information security, also known as InfoSec, is important to people of all ages. It's a team sport, and we each have a role to play. As technology continues to rapidly change in this information age, we have a shared responsibility to make cyberspace a more secure environment for ourselves and for future generations. While a lot of training and education content is geared towards security for organizations, we want to provide suggestions for how individuals can be safe on the internet. Whenever you're online, you're vulnerable, and thwarting evolving cyber attacks demands constant vigilance. We like to think of it as becoming a human firewall. It's common sense. You can outsmart attackers with security awareness. By learning what actions you can take as an individual user, you can reduce your risks online. Let's start. For data protection, security and privacy go hand in hand. Data privacy relates to business policies that define appropriate data management, such as collection, retention, and deletion. Cybersecurity comprises methods for protecting networks, devices, and data from unauthorized access, and ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of all that information. Information security includes cybersecurity and physical security. Here are a few important terms to help you understand some of the risks. Vulnerabilities are flaws in software, firmware, or hardware that an attacker can exploit to perform unauthorized actions in a system. Attackers take advantage of these errors to infect computers with malware or perform other malicious activities. Attackers seek to exploit vulnerabilities in software and computer systems for their own gain, and their actions are typically in violation of the intended use of the system. Threats range from mere mischief to stealing or altering information. Attack surface is any exposed place in your environment that a bad actor can use to gain entry to or extract something valuable from the places that you want to protect. After gaining initial access to a network, adversaries traverse the allowed communication paths between network devices to gain deeper access. Therefore, it's the goal of cybersecurity professionals to identify all the attack surfaces, reduce their size, and decrease the risk of attack. Malware is an unwanted file or program that can cause harm to a computer or compromise data stored on a computer. Examples of malicious code classification include a virus, worm, botnet, Trojan horse, DDoS, and ransomware. Malicious data files are non-executable, such as a Microsoft Word document, an Adobe PDF, a zip file, or an image file that exploits weaknesses in the software program used to open it. Attackers frequently use this to install malware on a victim's system, commonly distributing the files via email, social media, and compromised websites. Social engineering is extremely lucrative because people are deceived into believing it's legitimate. The goal of a social engineer is to obtain your trust, then exploit that relationship to coax you into either divulging sensitive information about yourself or another entity and giving them access to your network. Threat actors prefer the path of least resistance. Why waste an expensive 0 day when social engineering works? They hack the psyche of targets, who rarely realize the disguises, as well as rely on publicly available intelligence and interactions to generate victim profiles. These scams lure victims by appearing trustworthy, and they leverage emotional triggers such as curiosity, urgency, and intimidation. Nowadays, it seems that everything relies on the internet. Email, smartphones, video games, social media, applications, online shopping, medical equipment, and medical records. The list goes on. The downside is that cyber threats pose a serious risk to your business as well as your personal data. For example, malware can erase your entire system. An attacker might break into your system and alter your files. A cybercriminal can use your computer to attack others. Or an attacker might steal your credit card information and make unauthorized purchases. There is no guarantee that even with the best precautions, some of these things won't occur. However, there are steps you can take right now to minimize the chances. The first step is to recognize potential cyber risks. Just as technology continues to move forward, making our lives easier and more connected, cybercriminals use sophisticated technologies to compromise technology and online habits. Attackers like to exploit social media content, even our vacation plans, because these activities require you to provide sensitive information online. Always remember, highly sensitive and private information requires vigilant protection. For example, your personally identifiable information, PII, includes anything that can distinguish you, such as your full name, your birthday, biometrics, your passport, ID, credit card, or phone numbers, and your home or email address. You must also protect your company proprietary data. Sharing sensitive information online presents a huge opportunity for cybercriminals to commit credit card fraud, identity theft, as well as compromise your access to company proprietary resources. Simply put, data is the new gold. That's why it is imperative to follow privacy and data protection laws at work. For each business role, the acceptable level of risk to cybersecurity and privacy must be documented. Industry-recognized security practices must be incorporated, and appropriate safeguards implemented to protect personal information as well as data, systems, activities, and assets of an organization. The goal is to create a security-minded workforce. Cybercrime is a global threat with no borders. Consequently, regulatory industries and governments, such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR in Europe, as well as other countries, have prioritized the security of information with new laws and compliance standards. Remember to be the protector of your information. Human error accounts for nearly all data breaches. Be wary of suspicious requests, unknown attempts at contact, and unsolicited information that comes to you in any form of communication. Ask your company's privacy office if you have any questions. They are there to help you navigate these risks and can provide recommendations on how to be cyber safe. Protect personal and proprietary data. Be suspicious of any email, text, or voice message requesting sensitive information or financial transactions. Hover over all hyperlinks before clicking to confirm they are from legitimate sources. Use multi-step verification that requires a unique security code for authenticating to a system. Ensure your browser, mobile devices, and computer systems are updated with the most recent protections. Never reuse passwords across multiple accounts and devices. Lock your screen device when away from your workstation. Follow company policy. If you don't know, ask. Let's review why attackers have such a high success rate. Malicious attacks are constantly increasing. Research shows that 91% of cyber incidents that occur inside an organization are caused by some form of human error, such as inadvertently clicking a spear-phishing email. Privileged access abuse is linked to an estimated 80% of data breaches. In a world where the odds are heavily tipped in favor of cyber adversaries, data security must take precedence. When it comes to cybersecurity, knowledge is power, and that's why, by implementing actions you can take, you can avoid common traps. Be cyber safe out there. Thank you for your time, and please remember to take the quiz that follows this lesson.